Hello people of YouTube, thank you for clicking on this video, and if you're watching this, I'm sure you want to see how I painted this seascape painting today, so just keep on watching. I decided to start out with a sky swatch of nice blue, and I added some white just to lighten it up there at the center. And then I decided to go in with a greenish blue to create the sea color, and it's probably like 1 part blue, 2 parts green, something like that. And then just to make it look like an ocean, I added white just in streaks to look like waves and a shoreline maybe up there. And then I was trying to decide what I wanted to do with this. I went in and added some clouds. I really wanted these clouds to just fade into the sky, so I didn't define them very much, just there at the top. And then I wanted them to fade down at the bottom. And then I decided I wanted to kind of go a little different with this one. I'm going to be painting a mermaid. I don't usually paint mermaids. I've never painted people before. It's not my forte, it's not my thing. But today I was just feeling really creative. I wanted to do something different, so I decided to paint a mermaid. We're outlining the tail right here. This took much longer than I would have expected, and it really was tedious at some points because I was using such a small paintbrush, and it was my first time ever trying to paint any sort of human figure shape, and it's not even human, it's a mermaid, so that shows how well we did. We're coming up towards the body, and here's where I kind of realized I messed up and didn't make it as good as I could have or wanted to. I kind of made the body go straight up instead of out like it was swimming, and then that changed the whole concept of my painting. So now we're like going in trying to make the body shape, and now I had to go in and make the like skin shape and skin color, and I decided to go with like a grayish skin color at first, which now I decided is probably not the best, but we went in really dark first. Made her kind of look like a zombie. But yeah, I just started off from the bodice of the mermaid suit type of thing, and then started going out making arm shapes, and then up towards her neck shape, and this was also very tedious because it was the first time ever trying to make arms or anything like that, and I wish I would have had the arms sticking out like she was swimming or flailing or something, but then I would have to paint hands, and I was not up for painting any little fingers today, so I just decided to make it basic, make her put her hands behind her back, kind of. Again, guys, this is beginner painting. I have never painted a body before, and I was just trying something new today. It's not perfect, it's not great, but it's what it is. So yeah, I just kept on mixing the skin color I had created, and then I moved on to making a head shape here. The head shape was a little difficult. I wanted it to be like a normal head shape, not just a round circle in the middle of my canvas. And then I kept getting the colors wrong and mixing it too light or too dark. And then here I was just going in and adding a little depth to the mermaid tail and bodice, and just adding depth and making it look more detailed. So yes, I finished up this tail, and then I decided to take a break, and so now we're in a different spot. The camera slightly shifted, but we are working on the mermaid's hair now. I really wanted her hair to be this striking white color with some blue streaks in it, and I was just trying to get the general shape going at first. It was really hard for me to stop having the hair kind of fray off at the ends, so it just kept getting longer and more voluminous, which in the end wasn't that bad, but it was definitely a work in progress. I kept adding more strands of hair, more fluff, more volume, all the way until I decided this is enough, I must stop. I added a white layer first, and then I went in with the blue to add some streaks and just a little bit more depth to it. I think this is when I went in with the blue. Yeah, you can see just a little bit more depth with a little bit more blue in there. And this hair took me so long. It probably was another tedious part of painting this painting. The ends just were not turning out how I wanted. It didn't look exactly like real hair, and it was interesting. I don't paint hair very often, but I like the look of it. I used to sketch hair a lot when I was in school, just with a pencil and paper during class and stuff, but I haven't painted hair before, so this was a new experience, and it was a small surface area I was trying to fill with hair, so it was definitely difficult. I had to use a light hand and a tiny paintbrush, and as you can see, it just kept getting bigger and more crazy looking. I could not stop myself, that is for sure. So finally I decided I was done with the hair. I added a few more strands and I was finished. And then I decided to add a rock for this mermaid to sit on. She was going to sit on this rock in the foreground, and then that way it was just a little bit more realistic. This is in no way a realistic painting, but it added a little bit more realism and depth to the painting, and it gave that mermaid something to sit on instead of just sitting on the air in front of the water. Then I decided to go around the mermaid with a white outline, just a tiny little detail brush. We outlined the entire mermaid with a tiny little white line, as small as I could get it. And then I started adding detail to her tail. I changed the color of the bodice, which then I later decided I hated and would paint over again anyway. So I went to the bottom of the tail and started adding little white dots to just add some detail to the bottom of the tail and make her look a little bit more majestic, mythical, pretty, whatever it was. So here in a second you'll see the painting change, and there it is. She has a different color skin. I decided I hated her looking like a zombie. She looked so zombie-like. I hated it, so I just gave her some human, light-looking skin. I don't even know. I think I just made orange and white mixed together. It's probably not a good skin tone. It's probably not realistic, but it was better than this awful greenish, grayish, zombie-looking color of skin. I fixed the bodice and darkened it up again so it looked better, and then I was just making sure that skin was an even color and there was no fraying edges around it, and just so you can see the zombie skin underneath. I went in and made sure that that blue on her bodice and tail was nice and pretty, and then I added some darker detailing on the tail, just some like crisscross motions just to add a little bit of like fishnet look, I guess. Maybe scaly look. I don't know. I just wanted to add more detail to her tail and keep making her look majestic and mythical and magical and pretty. Alright, so as you can see, the canvas has completely moved, my whole station has moved, I've got new water. This is an entirely different day, guys. I took like 3 days off just staring at this painting, not doing anything to it, until I finally got back on the horse and tried to finish it this day. I was going in with the face detail, adding some lips, a little bit of a nose, and some eyes and eyebrows to define the face. Again, I'm not good at painting people. This is the first time I've tried, so this face was not something I'm super proud of, but I made it work. She had really big blue eyes with some little white dots and stuff, and it doesn't look realistic, but it looks like a person. So that's the best I can do, right? So similarly to how I had outlined the mermaid in a white line, I decided to outline this rock in a white line, and then I decided to add more rocks to this foreground to kind of make it look like she was on a rocky beach looking out across at the ocean, and just outlined all of those rocks, made it look like there were multiple, and then again, this is not a super realistic painting. These are definitely more cartoon looking rocks, but I was trying something new. And then I decided this painting just needed a little something else, so I decided to add these palm trees. Again, I've not painted palm trees. This painting was basically all new to me, but I was trying things. I was trying to get the shape down right, and I didn't want them to be completely in the painting. I just kind of wanted them to be off to the side, just kind of hanging in a little bit. So I did try here. It took me a while to get the yellow and the green to blend together how I wanted with these, and then to get the trunks looking right. But by the time I was painting these, I was just about finished with this painting and ready for it to be done. So I just slapped on those trees and called it a day. Alright guys, thank you for watching my video. Make sure to follow me on all my social medias and leave a comment and like below. I'd really appreciate it. I'll see you in my next video.